Good morning, Wilson. Today is Tuesday, November 29, 2016. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
And I'm Peter Rivera.
And this is your News in Minutes. In sports news, the NFL kicked off its first game ever in Mexico on Monday night. The game was against the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr is looking to be a contender for MVP this season. The Raiders are poised to be the number one seed in the AFC West and will most likely enjoy quite the run in the playoffs. Last week, there was yet another record that was broken. It's not a good record to break. 12 extra-point field goals were missed in a week's worth of games. Some are saying that the number of missed extra-point attempts is directly connected with the new rule that requires the extra points to be taken from the 15-yard line instead of the 2-yard line. The Packers used to be looked at as one of the best teams and one of the toughest in the league. As of last Sunday, they have lost their last 4 games in a row. That's not good.
Memphis Grizzlies' Vince Carter is proving that 40 is just a number. The former slam dunk champion is getting ready to celebrate his 40th birthday in January. There's already talks that have begun concerning whether or not Carter should be included into the Hall of Fame. The Toronto Raptors thought they sent their game against the Sacramento Kings into overtime with a last-minute three-pointer to tie the game at 102. However, after Terrence Ross hit what he believed to be as a game-tying three, the shot was waved off after the ball was being inbounded. Kings power forward DeMarcus Cousins tipped the pass, starting the clock. Unfortunately, there was no time left out of the 1.5 seconds on the clock for Ross to release the ball in time. The Kings won the game 102-99. 7-year-old Brody Stevens received an unexpected visitor. The Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry decided to spend his day in the hospital with Stevens. Stevens is an avid basketball player and Curry superfan. He has been battling leukemia since he was 1 year old. When Stephen Curry heard about it, Stevens and his story, he decided to visit his superfan.
In medical news, studies have begun to see if at-home abortions may be an option. The study would allow doctors to send their patients home with the correct medication that is required for an abortion so that the procedure could be completed in the comfort of one's own home. Anti-abortion groups believe at-home abortions would prove to be highly dangerous and could potentially cause more harm than good. But researchers believe that if this study proves successful, then women would be able to obtain birth control more easily without having to wait for an appointment, therefore cutting down on the number of unwanted pregnancies as a whole. Hand, foot, and mouth disease has become a bigger issue as it continues to spread through households. It's commonly seen in children, but adults have been becoming infected as well. Occurrences on college campuses and at daycare facilities are becoming more common. The disease comes from a virus inside the intestines and is extremely contagious. It produces painful mouth sores, fevers, and rashes on the face, hands, and feet.
In world news, there's good news for Samsung Note 7S users. After previously recalling 2.5 million Note 7S phones, Samsung has now released a statement confirming that the issue has been fixed and the Note 7S phones are now safe to use. On the other side of cell phone spectrum, Apple has admitted that some iPhone 6s devices are defective and can suddenly shut down for no apparent reasons. Apple states that if your phone shuts down, you should take your phone to an Apple store for further assistance.
Heart failure becomes a great risk for women who have exceeded the age of 50, specifically from the protein in their meats. Research done by the American Heart Association found that postmenopausal women with a high-protein diet to be more prone to heart failure than women who have higher vegetable diet. There is a link between increasing dietary protein and increased heart failure incidence. President-elect Donald Trump has a plan for health coverage that will change Medicare for people who make a low income. CNN reports that President-elect Trump is pushing to provide health insurance for the poor, but does not want to maintain Obamacare.
The Dead Sea is dying. Due to mineral extraction by numerous different agencies, the Dead Sea is shrinking by 3.3 feet every year. In hopes of revitalizing the Dead Sea, plans for a canal to be built which will supply water back into the Dead Sea are in the works. It is estimated that the canal will take 3 years to complete. Abortion is still a sin in the eyes of the Catholic Church. However, Pope Francis has extended the power of Catholic priests to forgive abortions. According to Pope Francis, this will make it easier for women who have had abortions to be absolved of their sin and be able to rejoin the church.
Science celebrity Stephen Hawking explains that Earth is too fragile. In a speech given at Oxford University, Hawking expressed the need for further space exploration to find a suitable new living space for human beings. Hawking went on to explain that there will be an extinction event that occurs on Earth, and that we as humans will be lucky if we can spend another 1,000 years on this planet. McDonald's is trying to improve the experience of their customers that are eating their food by adding new modernized technology. They have started with self-order kiosks, mobile pay options, new interior design, and even table service. The new updates are already being seen in about 500 restaurants, primarily in Florida, New York, and Southern California. The next advancement will be mobile ordering.
Arsenal fullback Hector Bellerin has recently signed a new long-term deal, keeping him at the Emirates until 2022. A 14-year-old British girl, referred to as JS in court documents, won her legal battle to have her body cryogenically frozen. The 14-year-old suffered from an extremely rare type of cancer. Her hope was that if her body was frozen and a cure was found, they could then unfreeze her body and have her be brought back to life. JS lost her battle with cancer on October 17th, but will remain frozen here in the United States until her resurrection hopes can be fulfilled.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of News in Minutes.
Make sure you check back next week for the next episode.
And make sure to follow Warrior News on Instagram and Twitter at Warrior News 15. For now, that's all we have. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
And I'm Peter Rivera.
And we'll see you in a minute.